Well, howdy guys, and welcome back to the channel again this evening. Tonight is one of my favorite things to do, a bag loadout. I've had some pictures on Instagram today of this bag on the job site today. I was using it right next to my TP XXL. Really big fan of the Vito bags. Just get that out of the way right to start with. I run the Vito bags for everything except this one bag. This is my clean job bag, so that you know that. I keep tools clean in here, everything. You'll see I even keep like the Ballistol wipes in this bag. Everything gets cleaned after the job, goes back in here, so this is a nice clean setup. So recently I also added this end box here. You probably saw it if you watched the last week or two's video. I had this bag here come in a KC tool haul, and so that video was actually shot maybe a month or more ago. So this bag has been on here for a little while now, and we've been getting it set up to kind of fit into the workflow. So by adding this, the point of adding this was to get a lot of the longer tools out of this portion of the bag so that I could fit my impact in there a little better. So let's go ahead and flip these over. This bag, I do have a video to show this bag back when I first got it and kind of go over more of the actual features of the bag that are not part of this loadout. But on here, you've got, you know, your normal carry handle right here, and then your shoulder strap with the nice Vera deal on it. But getting into this, we'll go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and just pop these off. So I want to lay this bag completely open for this so you can really see what we have going on in here. And some people wonder how good Vera Velcro is. Let's get those two words right. It's really good, okay? Like and you can see I've been using this thing for several months now, and the lid even on this thing has not even broken in to where it's, you know, a grab and go thing. I don't know that it ever will, but I use this a lot, so I'm surprised that it hasn't. But just when you pop this bag open like this is how it looks just sitting on the bench or wherever you're working. When you flip this up, right here on the inside lid, you have Velcro right here in the top that closes. If you can see with the front flipped up, this right here closes right into here. And I keep my Joker 6004 set right here. So don't even have to undo that. If I want to wrench, same lovely tough Velcro on everything with this setup. But I have all of my Jokers right here that come in that set. And I have a great video on those as well. If you're curious about those wrenches, or really most of the tools in this bag, a lot of them have individual videos. Feel free to hit me up in the comments. I'll be glad to find the video for you if it's, you know, something you maybe don't know the name of. So in here, I wanted to move the tall tools out into here so that I could fit this Milwaukee Surge in here a little better. I've had it in here for a while, but this impact has kind of become like my go-to. I mean, this thing is it's well used now. But see, they're on the side. I picked up these stealth mounts, they're called, and they make these for Milwaukee tools, DeWalt tools, all that. They actually come with a screw-in setup, so they screw in just like your pocket holster clip does. So whichever side that you like to carry your drill on, your stealth mount will mount on the opposite side. That's just the way they're made. And they have a nice magnet right here down the side, so you can snap whatever you want, right? I guess today I have a little 1/8" drill bit. But I keep my Malco 1/4 and 5/16, T25, T20, and a number 2 square on here. That number 2 square is not impact rated, but it is what it is. And then here in the tip, I keep a PB Swiss Phillips that it just fits things super nice. So that's a little setup for my impact in there. I kind of do like having an impact, at least in the bag. I'm going to move these off to the side so they don't mess with our focus today. But kind of out here on the front still, right here on the bottom, the inside of this top flap, if you notice that flap closes up like that, you have a big patch of Velcro here where you can stick something also. Well, these weigh almost nothing. I mean, this is like one of the lightest Vera bags you can have. This is my micro driver set, and I have it just right here on the front where I can just roll it right down the front. If I want to get to something, that can just be right there, and I have all my drivers. I'll go ahead and pop that off so I can show you. That's what's in that set right there. Just a nice set of micro drivers, you know, all the flats, the Phillips, the square drives, the little tiny Torx, stuff that just comes in handy on, you know, fixture type stuff, which is most of what I'm running into on this type of work. So, going on in, gloves, of course. I picked these up. Actually, if you watch Lowe's sometimes, they keep running these mechanics gloves, which are nice. I love the soft, they kind of have a leatherish material in it. I hate to say leather, but that's what it looks like in there. Just nice feeling. These are the auto adjusters, so nice little gloves. I like those. So on inside, one of the big things I like about this bag, just to let you know, is the fact that when you have these tool quivers like this, everything is just completely visible when you're looking down into your bag. You can see every tool in here perfectly. So you don't have anything getting hid behind something else, really. And then if you're going to run away from your bag and you just want to grab the one that goes with you, you can grab one or two or whatever bags you need out, and then you just have your empty bag here. So to go into what I have in those, we'll do that here in just a minute. Here on the outside of the bag, though, right here on this end, in this tall one, pop this open. This bag is a similar kind of feature as the front, where you open the top, and the front will also flip down on this and stick down. So you can actually see your tools right here and here. Makes it a little better for grabbing things. And I keep my tall stuff. This holds, you know, up to right at a 12-inch tool in there. So I have a big PB Swiss. This is a number 6 flathead big. And a big reason that I use these PB Swiss drivers, might as well show you on this one here, is because of the way they make those tips. If you can see that, right here in the black, they do a step down on their tip and they're parallel to the end. So you don't have any camming out of a screw in a flathead, especially, you know, when you go in, you don't have anything camming it out already from having a wedge-shaped screwdriver. These are parallel at the tips. So just kind of a neat little feature, and they're like that all the way down to their small flatheads. So pretty neat design, in my opinion. And of course, nice pair of good old trusty pliers wrenches in here, 10-inch, 200, I believe these will be 250 millimeter. Yeah, these are the 8602 250s. Then, of course, a pair of 7401 250s, just some side cutters right there. A pair of these are the Cobra 8751 250s, and these have the kind of long, skinny tip on them, and there are certain things that is just really handy for. I should have a regular pair. Yep, there's my regular pair of Cobras in there. And they're all wiped down real nicely at the moment. But if you want to see the difference in jaws there between the long skinny tips and the Cobras, that's what the difference is in those right there. You can really get into a tight spot with those. And it's kind of neat. Now, I don't think that they have as good of fitment on larger nuts and stuff as the regular Cobras do because of that long flat tip. But there's things the long flat tip can do that this is not going to be able to. So I like having a pair of each of those. Kind of got hooked. They were tool of the day on KC a long time ago, and I grabbed, I don't know, you know me, y'all. I grabbed a lot of them. So that's all that I have in that bag right there. And just go ahead and clap that back together for you. Now the other end of this bag, just have some basics down here. I don't like to carry a lot on this one, so it's not like my Vito bags. I have one little, this is a Vito tape, you know, electrical tape strap from one of those bags that I stole off, and I just keep me a little bit of electrical tape, whatever my smallest one is. And then I have a little 4-way key, little control cabinet key, and let me get these out of our way. And then I keep my Bosch laser measure right here, and kind of part of the reason is, if you notice, the strap for that actually goes around the back of the bag, so this actually straps all the way around. It's a belt clip, a Velcro belt clip, loop, whatever, on this Bosch tool, and it just wraps real nice. So to pop this open here on the side of your bag, you can just go ahead and slide it out right there. It's just the little Bosch blaze. Turn that on. See, that's, yeah, now you know how tall my ceiling is, right? So anyway, that's what I keep right there. Just a nice little tool to have, and I can just have it real easy to grab right off the end of the bag. So straps on real good with this Velcro kind of a neat little byproduct of having that. It's kind of neat how many things come with Velcro, not just Vera stuff. So you can stab things everywhere. And then here on the end, this is the bag from the Vera Turbo, and we'll get into that one here in a second, but kind of a driver that's very unique for just limited operations. But I bought the whole kit. So this is the Vera Turbo full kit here, and I have these flipped up here at the bottom to catch them, keep them from coming out, you know, when it's folded up. So I have all these nice long driver bits that will fit into the driver that's here in the quiver. So just a nice little access for a lot of options there. I don't put the driver in it because then it makes it kind of stick out quite a bit, and I like it in there. So anyway, that's what's on the end of the bag. Let's go ahead and scoot this over and get into the real fun stuff here. So smallest little bag here first. You can flip those little handles, just kind of an inside out type of deal, and they'll flip right down the back. These have Velcro big patch here on the back also. So if you want to stick one of these on the end of your bag, on the front, whatever you can, or, you know, Vera sends you all these big patches of Velcro that you can hang these bags anywhere if you just want to get just the quivers. This bag only comes with one of these, but I got one before that. So in here, I have my Canipex linemans right there with the nice ones with fish tape puller and the crimper. Then a little pair of Canipex needle nose, the 2611-200s. And this is the little angled side cutters. I picked these up at Lowe's, actually. Kind of a neat little set. They have a really comfortable handle. Get right down, you know, next to something if you need to cut it flush and not have your hands jammed up. Kind of nice for that. Then these, which are, at this point, my all-around favorite electrical pliers right there. They've held up so well. I've got probably 5 pairs of these. There's even a brand new pair here on the desk that I haven't even taken anywhere yet. They're still tagged and everything. So I pick these up whenever they run, you know, whenever they run a deal on some of this stuff. I'll pick up some spares, because you never know if you want to outfit more than one bag, that kind of thing. It's nice to have some redundancy. So this tool's great. Nice screw cutters for 832 and 632 screws. You don't have to thread them in. You just push them through to the length you want and they're done, just like that. So real nice shear cutter there in the jaw. It's got 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20 in stranded, and then 10, 12, 14, 16 in solid wire on one side also. So really nice, versatile pair. Nice wide tips if you need to get in there and really twist a bundle of wires and you don't have your good linemans handy. Can't beat the linemans for that, really, but down in the bottom right there, I have the protectors for my pliers, wrenches, and cobras. I've got sets of them right down in the bottom of the bag. You know, I have to dump them out to get those, but when the occasion pops up and I'm going to turn something I'm worried about scratching, I go for grabbing those. So if you haven't seen those, they're here on the channel also. Right here in the middle, I kind of just rolled me up a whole little bundle together that I just have in there. You can see the top of that. You guess what brand we're about to pull out of there? Can you guess? Okay, well, we can look right here on the side. Of course, PB Swiss. So, what would this be? Well, you've seen these before if you watched the PB Swiss unboxing videos, but I keep this little pick set. It's got all these nice, versatile little picks for working on faucets and little valve seats and all kinds of anything you can't get your finger into. So they're nice. I just fold their pack over, and it goes right in the loop there in the bag. Inside that, I keep 2 punches, and these are from the full set from PB Swiss, but I picked out 2 sizes that fit the items that I run into at the hotel projects the most, you know, their size of their pins and different things. And these are just super nice. They got the nice mushroom top so you don't hit your hand, and then really just great punches. Anyway, what all can you say about a punch? I guess more than you'd think. So here's and then with that, these are also PB Swiss. I just like them. So you can see here, this is a number 3 flathead. I don't know if you'll be able to see that one. That's really small. But that's got that stepped tip on it also. And if you're curious and want to see a good picture of that, I'll get you one up on Instagram. Just message me or something. I'll be happy to. And then a number 1 Phillips there also. But that's that little set. Just a nice little roll of PB kind of tucked in the middle. Then here, my little screw extractor pliers. These are the Nailosauruses engineers from Japan. These are made in Japan. They have a really neat jaw pattern there that allows you to grab a screw head on. Just really nice. If you strip one out or something, you can get a hold of it with a pair of these. Nice Japanese tool. Then on this end, I have quite a little bit packed into a tiny spot. These are the Canipex electronics snips. So with these, you know, there was a little controversy between a couple channels the other day about whether these jaws were supposed to meet dead on, and they're not, according to Knipex. So this is how they're supposed to be made. They're slightly offset. They're fantastic for me for when you're opening packaging and it's all strapped down with zip ties. These are just awesome. Once you hold them, it's just neat. The only thing that would be nice if they had would be a way to lock the handles together, because they're spring-loaded. So when you put them in your bag, you want to hold the handles together, you know, and drop them in. So we get what we can get, right? Then, of course, my little Canipex step cuts. These are the ones that have the little steps throughout the jaw here, so you can bite into a pretty heavy cable and get it cut. And to give you an idea how small they are, I mean, these little step cuts are not a whole lot bigger than the electronic snips. They're little. Then I have a control cabinet key in here that's a pin, and I have this in here because I'm kind of deciding between the 4-way on the end and this new one that I picked up to see which one I really like. But this one here, press through that center, it flips out, and you have all these key options all around this. So pretty well everything you'd need. It's got a Phillips and a flat and a magnetic deal on one end, and a Torx, 20 and 25, I believe, on this end. So just a nice little setup. Has the little square drive here, and I believe I've been told that's for radiators overseas. So I haven't run into something to use that for here, so I got curious and I asked on that video. So yeah, apparently that's what that's for. Of course, little Fluke voltage sniffer. They're just nice to have. You need one. I try to have one literally in every bag. And the Knipex Cuttix. I pretty well just went ahead and made this the knife of this bag. I went ahead and put the Tajima in the Vito TP XXL. So just depends on what I'm doing. Great little knife. There's a video about a lot of this here on the channel. Go check them out. Then for my light in here, I went with a Milwaukee, and I've had this one quite a while. This is a rechargeable USB, really bright light. It's got 2 modes, and then it just recharges with a USB micro right there in the side. So really handy, little loop here, super magnetic. And my desk is magnetic, so you can see it'll pick up a pair. You can pick up a pair of pliers. Oh, almost a pair of linesmans. But pretty heavy duty little magnet. It's great because you can stick it, you know, all inside a cabinet or whatever you're working on if you got a metal cabinet. Nice little light to have. Fits real great in those little pouches, as well as, you know, your screwdriver slots and your Vito bags. It's good for that as well. Then flip this one down. Here is bag number 2 out of there. Of course, start off right here on the end. This bag gets pretty well the best of the best. So obviously it's got the PB Swiss Rainbow Allen key set, and they're the long ones with the nice ball ends on them there. If you can see how nice those are. Anyway, just fantastic little keys. And I use these a lot for this bag because it goes in when I'm turning stuff that I really don't want to strip, and they're just really great. My TP bags and my Vito bags pretty well have Vera Allen keys in almost all of them, except the plumbing bag has Bondus keys in it. And that's kind of for obvious reasons. That bag goes into places, you know if you know. So I'm not going to take my PB Swiss there. My decision. So then a little Stabila 10-inch level there. Had this one around quite a while. It's got some pretty good dents up on it, but great little level there. You can't hardly beat Stabila. I've got it for all my levels, all the way up to my big extendable plate levels and stuff. They're all Stabila. So great brand. Well, let's see here. You about have to have a Vera chisel driver in your bag somewhere. So about every bag, I split a couple of sets of these up because you always want a flathead somewhere that you can beat on. And I'm sorry, but it's not going to be the PB Swiss. So unless I got they do make a strike top driver, but I haven't purchased those yet. So I have these nice Vera deals. They have the nice bolster here that you could put a wrench on if you needed to, but they have the heavy steel striking cap, and you can go ahead and use it, you know, as a chisel if you need to. Who hasn't used their flatheads as a chisel? Yeah, if you say you haven't, then we know what, yeah. See if you can sleep tonight. So, pair of these. These are getting a little raggedy here, but I really like the Fiskars titanium nitride scissors. Have them in everything. There's so much stuff that I cut with these. Everything from like Curdy shower liners to painter's tarps. You know, if you're throwing down your plastic, taping off a room, putting up some zip wall, whatever. I just like to just get in there with some scissors and get going, and they work great for that. So then, kind of controversial little tool. Let's snap that off, though. This little Vera deal here is for gripping screws on the end of a driver when you don't have a magnetic screw or a magnetic screwdriver. Either one, this solves that problem because it physically holds the screw on. And I'm not sure. Well, it's not a Phillips, and this is a Phillips, but we'll throw a flathead or a square drive on here and just show you how it works. It just holds your screw just like that, right there. So you don't have to worry. And then as you drive the screw in, this will just snap off and go up and out of your way. So it's not a concern, you know, of it keeping the screw from setting. So just great. I keep it here on the Vera Turbo in the bag just to have it handy, and I stick it on whatever driver I need. But this is the Vera Turbo. And there'll be a video coming out to explain a little more about this because I think a lot of people get confused about what all it's good for and what it's definitely not good for, which is a lot bigger list than what it's good for. So just be clear about that. With this driver, you have a 4-to-1 ratio. So when you turn the handle here, you're getting a 4-to-1 there at the tip in turbo mode. Then you can obviously click it off a turbo and everything will lock up and you use it like a regular driver. So for me, this is for those long faucet screws, long electrical screws, that sort of thing, where I'm not going to spend all day running in with a screwdriver, but maybe it's a spot that I don't really want to put the impact. You know, I'm not going to impact down somebody's faucet screws. So I use this, zip them in. It looks really professional, you know, and you're not panicking a hotel owner who's watching over your shoulder or something like that. So I just like to be professional. I think that's the word, right? So I didn't stick one of the big Vera tool checks in here, but I did put a Vera bit check like this, and this is more for the fact of how many bits this has. If you can see, these actually separate so you can get them out easier, and this was probably close to the same price as just getting the security torque set by itself. It wasn't much worse anyway, and you get a whole lot of great bits, a lot of good adapters, socketed Allens, everything in here. So went with this because I need a lot of different bits available, and what's cool is these bits will fit right in this turbo driver because this just has the normal Vera wrap adapter. You can put whatever you want in the tip of this. So just a great little setup, and then it has of course the little Vera wrap adapter right here in the kit, so if you need to throw it in your drill or something like that, you absolutely can. As well as these are super handy to stick in the little stubby that I carry in here. And I like to have at least, you know, one ratcheting driver in here. So I have my little PB Swiss. This is the little PB Swiss stubby right there. And the main reason for this one, check this out. Nice little carousel of bits there on the top. Pops up, turns, snaps down. And then the real solid ratchet mechanism that PB Swiss is so known for, with extremely strong magnets in these. So just great little driver, and it'll of course take any of these. They're just normal bits. So great little setup there. And then these scissors here are the Canipex electrician scissors, electrical scissors, something like that. And yeah, these are a little nasty at the moment. They need to be cleaned up. The 9505 155 scissors, and these will cut wire. They'll cut about whatever you really want to. It's got Inox HRC 56 stamped on the blade, if that helps anybody. But I like these holsters for these. They snap in, they lock in, and they have a nice clip here on the back with a good stop. So for me, it just goes right in this bag perfectly and holds. So really like those. I've got several pairs of these, and I bought a pair of the one that has the crimper in it, but I'm still waiting on getting it from KC. So that'll be on an upcoming, probably a KC tool haul video, something like that. But I've been using this style for quite a while, and they're fantastic. You cut a lot of stuff, and really these were kind of my zip tie cutters up until getting the electronic snips. I got to learn that a little better. So then, of course, a good old Milwaukee Inkzall Sharpie style deal, and a Pica pencil, just a normal Pica pencil, the small one. Is the new design, I believe, there, though. They kind of redesigned those to take away some of the issues that some people were having. Doorstop. Yeah, little silicone or rubber doorstop right there. Just handy, depending on where you're working, to be able to keep a door from trying to shut on you all the time. Sometimes you don't have a key to every door you're going through in a building, and then once you get through there, it's real nice to make sure it doesn't lock behind you. Same kind of story here with the Fat Ivan. This is a tool that I didn't know about until a friend of mine, Reese T, actually told me about it on a Facebook group. So just go ahead and say who it was there. But fantastic little tip. Blocks a door open real well also. Made in the USA. Solid little tool. And then the most basic of all to wrap up with, a pill dispenser, of course. And you can kind of see this has got screws, all kinds of wire nut tips, several sizes of that, several kinds of screws. Just really handy. You can get one of these, you know, Amazon, Walgreens, whatever. I grabbed that, I believe, at Walgreens, but it drops right down in that bag real nice. Just a little 1 week style pill container that's got kind of big compartments for, hopefully not me when I get older. But right now it's really good for screws and stuff like that. So just a little tip, if you ever need something to go in your Vito bags, all that. The little Plano tackle box kind of deals. As well as all the different pill dispensers. They're great for little stuff like that. And they're usually made, if you get the pill dispensers, they make them where they're real easy to get your finger in and actually pull out small parts, because they're made for helping you fish your pills out. So they work really great for all that stuff. But that is what I've been running in this Vera bag, and it has been fantastic for me. We do have some new Vito bags coming in next week, and I'll be getting those set up to go on the job. We're upgrading our plumbing bag, which is the OTMC right now. We're upgrading it to the OTLC with the V-swap panels. Hopefully give us enough room. You got to see how bad that bag's gotten since I bought it. Talk about overloaded. Yeah, we all overload Vito, but man, can you overload that little OTMC. So it's high time we got a bigger plumbing bag, so we got one coming, which means we're also going to have that TPLC that they're sending out for free, so we're going to rig that one up as well. Still deciding what that's going to be, so if you have some ideas that you're doing with yours, let me know. I'm curious. You get a nice collection of these Vitos, you have to get ideas for what little setup you can have for specific jobs sometimes. I also picked up is it the CT something? The little pouch in the bright yellow with the extra parts bags. So have those coming too, the special ops version. So we'll get to check those out. I got some ideas for what I'm putting in there. So hope y'all have an amazing weekend. It's about to snow here again tomorrow. So spring's coming. It was in the 80s last week, but it definitely isn't going to be. It isn't out there right now. But we will see you guys next week on another awesome tool video. Y'all have a great night.